We can keep we can put our YouTube in our
Absolutely.
bios. You know?
Come on, man. This is how it's supposed to go, how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, let me get up in here.
Every little thing I do, you're on my mind.
The way you say crazy.
It's driving me crazy. What's the title of this one, D? We got one?
5 and 10. We live now.
Okay, okay. What'd you name it?
Hold on. Wednesday, 5:15.
Oh, 515. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon. Live from the den. We are here. Great conversations, man. It's always a pleasure to be back in the space.
Yes, sir.
Back in the building with another episode from Live from the Den.
Live from the den. About to freestyle,
Yo,
bring the show in.
one of the best to do it.
No, man. Hey, what people don't know, no, before I get there, what's going on, everybody? It's Mr. Devontae Green, on purpose. Here with my I don't know, are we co-hosts, bro? I feel like you've been running the show,
Oh, man, yeah,
and
yes.
I'm the co-pilot, man.
Yes, man. We here. We live from the den, co-hosting this thing. And I think that's what a team player, that's what collaboration looks like. You know, if one of us have things and the priorities have to line up another way, we supposed to step up and fill that void, because you would have did the same thing.
That's trust, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Trust and delivery.
And you know what that also, first off, for those who are tuned in, thank you for being here, listening to us. Like I said, I'm
y'all.
D Green on purpose. We got Danny Crumble, the counselor,
Yes,
and this is Live from the Den. We really have a platform to have the conversations that we would normally have in small circles, but valuable conversations, right? Topics that have literally grown us in all aspects, physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, financially.
Wow.
As fathers, as partners, you know, with ourselves. That these are the conversations that we're bringing to you live from the den. So when we say live from the den, this is because we are also the founder and co-founder of the Giants Den.
Yes, indeed.
The Giants Den is a leadership network. It is a private group, right? A leadership network of inspired Black men who are dedicated to causes bigger than themselves, to making change in the world, being leaders. We have a 5:15 a.m. call every Wednesday for the last 2.5 years.
This is in the pandemic. This is post, during, and pre, during, and post pandemic. You know, at a time where, you know, it was a bunch of uncertainty. We went ahead and got sturdy, 5:15, consistently and faithfully. We used to do this Monday and Wednesday. Now we getting through the week, and it's just a beautiful landing spot. The conversations that take place on these calls are absolutely amazing. But not only that, they're growthful. You know, you really get to tap in on a level that is necessary.
Word.
With other men that are growing, developing, moving in the right way.
Super important thing you just said, bro. We come from the wood. If you're not familiar, if you are not native to, I mean, I don't know where you would be from, but Inglewood's right. Not Inglewood, Illinois, not Inglewood, Chicago, right? We talking about Inglewood right here in LA.
Yes, indeed.
That's where we come from, man. And you know, we played football. Me and Danny met on the football field.
Right.
We became friends through our shared appreciation for physical activity. You know what I mean? It came in the form of football, but now here we are in our 30s, and we just had a crazy workout earlier today.
Dynamic.
You know what I mean? So that physical activity, that love for that movement is there. But I say that, you know, we actually have been privileged to have these conversations, and we really want to bring it to y'all, and not only have it available to our exclusive membership, but to you as well. So we do have our 5:15 a.m. call. We did that this morning, and I want to talk about let's go to there. Let's go here, bro.
I think that's a good landing spot. And two, one thing I love about the calls, this is on a personal level, it's a Wednesday. And when you think about how we have these sayings, or we have hump day, or things that we need to get us through the sad middle of the week, this is one of the most uplifting opportunities at 5:15 in the morning. That means you got to get up before 5:15 in order to be fresh and ready. But just diving into the call, right? One of our members, Davon, Generational Wealth, was able to lead us into a topic.
Shout out to Davon.
Shout out to Davon, doing amazing things within the den, and one of the guys that collectively inspires, to that. But we talked about manifestation, and we also talked about collaboration, the importance of collaboration and teamwork, and what that looked like outside of everyone being in their own individual and still learning in their own capacity, right? Because we've been collaborating for a while. There are systems, there are practices, there are things that we have to grow to. There are things that we're extremely successful in off the bat, but we putting in consistent work.
Even the fact that we have a that's my sound. That's my reround. That's my rewind sound. Let's go back to the fact that it's normal to us now.
Right. I forget that part.
It's normal to say that we got 20 black men on a virtual call since 2019, pre-pandemic. So people got introduced to Zoom mostly and most popularly because of the pandemic. We were Zooming a year before the pandemic even hit. So we just kept the same rhythm as the pandemic hit, right? We stayed on those 5:15 a.m. calls. That's not normal. We just normalized it, right? We normalized something that is actually so far-fetched that is normal now. So we're finding those things that are hard and making them normalized, right? So I want to say, like, we have a 5:15 a.m. call, and the way that it started, a lot of folks don't know, even in the den, being in LA, a lot of people got stuff going on. Y'all listening right now, y'all got all kind of stuff going on. We got stuff going on, and you meet people and they'll hit you with the oh man, I ain't got no time. You know what I mean? Or they even might fake you out, bail on some plans y'all made or something like that. So one of the ways I wanted to kind of vet people out when starting the Giants Den and choose and have those people have to have some what we call skin in the game. You know what I mean? To meet with me and to make sure you had a clear schedule, because most people don't got stuff going on at 5 in the morning, right? So that's what I said, we're going to meet. Because if you can show up here at 5:15, you care.
Absolutely.
You're prioritizing.
Absolutely.
So that it's a respect just by getting on the call. People respect you. This ain't no regular call every Wednesday. And there's been so much value that's actually been obtained through our 5:15 a.m. call. But I want to give it back to you and talk about this morning's call and what kind of stood out to you about this morning's call?
Well, multiple things stood out, and I wanted to also take time to have that reflection again about the 5:15 call, because now as you were talking about it, it allowed me the ability to have a little bit of personal reflection and personal understanding, like, wow, this ain't normal. You do things long enough at a consistent rate, it does develop as normalcy. That's just your regimen routine now. And I forget that people be surprised. I got up at 4:50, and I jumped on the call. You was on Zoom at 5:15.
It makes it to where you get up at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and it's like, wow, I'm up so late.
I feel like I missed a large part of the day.
Why is it important to get up early?
Because early bird catch the worm.
Well, let's dig with like seriously though. Like we see a consistent a habit of getting up early with the most successful people,
absolutely,
and the most influential people in generations. They have this thing with getting up early. Why is it important? What have you experienced in your own life since getting up earlier? And you know what I mean, on a positive.
Yeah, I think that was cliche, but you have these cliches where you can go back and, like, what does that really mean? Early bird catch the worm, or these cliches to explain how it feels to get up early. And for me, how it showed up, one, the consistency that I had, right? And I'm getting up early and I'm actually being productive. I'm able to turn on an energy that I felt that was dormant for a long time. I'm electric in the morning. So what it done for me, it just gave me a spark and an initiative that I need. You can't procrastinate or waste time. You get up at 4:15. You get up at 4:30, 4:45. You ain't wasting no time. It's allowed me to get to it. Now, that could look like many of things. If I needed the time and space for myself, like we said, most people are not getting up at 5:15. So I might go into a 30-minute meditation that sets the tone for my day. Get a pre-workout.
30 minutes?
30-minute meditation. I got to that level now. It is guided, you know.
Yeah, I'm like, dang, 30. I'm good with a 10.
Yeah,
for my focus, but you build that type of habit up over time.
And just like in my practice now, it's like you refocus on that thing. You have your markers, so I don't set an alarm and nothing like that. I just know kind of like 5 songs, 30 minutes, and I'm able to come out gracefully in a point. But it allows space and time for that, for growth, for personal development. It just gave me I feel like I'm cheating by getting extra hours in the day for yourself.
Man,
what has it done?
I would say definitely. I'll just elaborate on mostly the points that you made. And I definitely live, and I also live. I say definitely a lot. I also live by win the morning, win the day. What really a time where my morning routine, like getting up early, really helped me a lot is when my daughter was living with us full time. My wife would get up at a certain time, and I felt like, work started at a certain time, and I felt like I was just waking up and giving all my time immediately to other folks. Got to get her up and get her ready for school and make sure that, she's doing this, her morning routine, and she gets some food and then take her where she needs to go. Oh, my wife, what she need? All right, all right, work. Let me turn on the computer and why is this the first thing I'm doing? This is a setup for a chaotic day. You know what I'm saying? And Absolutely. Like it's the setup for a chaotic day. So I really found a lot of benefit in getting up a few hours earlier before anybody was checking for me and just owning that time. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, so my morning routine looks. Did this thing come back on?
Yeah, it's
let me turn
automatic, systematic. No,
yeah, automatic, systematic. No,
you said your morning routine. Yes.
Yeah. Sir. So my morning routine, and sometimes you get a really solid morning routine, and other times you might not get it like a 30-minute. Let's say you do get like, all right, let me get what I can. Let me see how much focus time I got this morning, right? But not grabbing my phone, which is a huge problem.
Man, that was my biggest deterrent for being productive. Now, when I say I'm productive now and then, I was grabbing my phone. First thing I did was grab my phone.
And it's not even, what's crazy? You grab the phone and then go where?
Instagram.
Right. It ain't you grab your phone and checking the stuff. No matter what it is, before getting inundated with other information from an outside world, checking in with yourself.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's literally been asking myself the same question every day. Hey, are you aware? Hey, you aware? And then my consciousness gets focused.
I'm gonna borrow that.
Yeah, I get focused. Anytime I'm feeling like panicked, I'm like, hey, are you aware? Are you in there? You know what I'm saying? And then I get focused. So that's the first thing I do. I get out the bed. I actually, if you live in a house and you pay your own water bill, you probably don't want to do this, but I live in an apartment and the bill is on the house. So I steam the shower. I steam the bathroom up completely. I put a towel down on the crack of the floor, and I cut all the lights out, and I just steam, and then I turn on sound bowls, like from my Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? I go to sound bowls, turn on sound bowls, and that's how that is a form of meditation, right? Because I just try to focus in. For me, I like dark, small spots. You know what I mean? And that the sound bowls echoing off the bathroom, and then the steam, and I'm sweating. Then I've also started to stretch in there as well. I'm not in the shower. I'm just in the bathroom, steamed up. You know what I'm saying? And stretching. And from there, I come out and I start getting ready. But when I get ready on YouTube, like Eric Thomas, I have some motivational videos with some music behind it, or E.T. That is E.T. or whoever Les Brown, whoever David Goggins. They have these compilation videos of motivation. So I listen to that while I'm getting ready to go to the gym.
And it's like you are dedicated to setting yourself up for the win.
Yeah.
For the morning win. And I don't think you was a great initiator of the 5:15 call, the seriousness, right? And in the spirit of it, you did it for, let me see if somebody, else is, serious, or let's see what the energy is like. You had to step into that own energy. And within that 5:15 practice, you was able to then recognize different things that will successfully set you up for what you got going on.
Right. That's where the confidence comes from. We talked about this before, offline, but obviously everything we on here talking about, we have talked about in some variation, right? So starting your day, when we talk about confidence, like we are seen as two confident individuals. not even seen as. We are too confident individuals, not falsely. And I don't believe there's a such thing as overly. I just think there's a falsely confident. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't believe there's a such thing as overconfident. I believe in myself too much. What are we talking about?
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? But I can see somebody who hasn't put in the personal type of work that they need in order to justify their level of belief to others. I see that. But we are too confident people, but that comes through stuff like getting up in the morning, hitting, you know what I mean, having a routine, doing those things that make you rare. The reason why we have a show is because we are rare. You feel me? And not rare because we're the only two who have the opportunity. Every person on this earth can choose to be different. Man. You feel me? Doing what others are scared to do, doing what others are too tired to do, doing what others are making excuses that they can't do, but they really want to. You feel me? So like us being rare gives us confidence, but you get rare by waking your ass up in the morning, spending time with yourself, getting your mind right so you can say, hey, I'm in control of my day. Ain't nobody else, no matter what happens today, I'm going to be aware throughout my whole day. And when you are aware, it's a different type of day. It's a different type of attention. That's for all of us. You feel me? When you are aware driving, it is totally different than being on autopilot, not knowing how you got from A to B. Ooh. Awareness, right? So that awareness, and then you find out who you want to be. You find out who you want to be, right? And for me, I want to be the type of man who lives that stuff I be talking. Man, I want to live a life, no matter when I go out, that I can be proud of. I want to be able to look myself in the mirror. I want to know that I am different in the way that makes me closer to the version of myself that God intended for me to be. So I go to the gym. I meditate. I eat better foods. I don't argue with people. I learn all day. I'm learning.
Is that easy?
It's not easy. Okay. But that's where the confidence comes from.
That's why
you know what I'm saying? So that's where the confidence, if you want to be more confident, do something like say, hey, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. I usually wake up at 8 a.m. I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. And don't hit snooze at 6 a.m. when the alarm goes off the next day. Instead, just get up. Because now you're starting the day with a win.
Oh my God.
Instead of hitting the snooze button, making a commitment to yourself, lying, right? Making the commitment to yourself and then lying, because 6 a.m. came, you hit the alarm, the snooze button. Let me sleep 15 more minutes. Let me sleep 30 more minutes. No matter how many more minutes you sleep, you've lied to yourself already. You feel me? So that's where for folks who are listening right now, especially my men, and Danny, I appreciate you letting me get this. I don't know what just happened. So much hot.
You know I'm actually listening and I take it in too. You got to remember that we're co-hosts on this show, but I'm also a fan of the vision. I'm also a fan of the gems that you drop and experiences that you share with people. And I'm people in this space too. So keep popping it, bro. Wait. Let's take a. And I do that because it's extremely important to drop these type of experiences in the way that you do it, because it becomes relevant to people and it becomes real, and it's like a blueprint that's created for somebody that is looking to be more confident, looking to not lie to themselves and understand like I'm going through the path I hit these markers and I'm still going. And keep talking to the people, bro, because it just gets so personable. It gets so spiritually connected to where you hear these things and you like, man, like you're in the middle of a mountain and you hear somebody, hey, you got it. Like that means something. It means absolutely something to someone that's on a journey, whatever it looks like. And you hear like, I gotta be real to myself. Those morning wins, but more importantly, you said this before on the previous show and just in casual conversation, those small wins compound into bigger wins.
Oh yeah. We stacking small wins all day. Man. That's how you win the day. You win right now. If you win enough of the moments, if you win enough of the seconds, you win enough of the minutes, the hours, the more hours you win in your day. Hey, at the end of the day, if you won 20 of your 24 hours, did you win the day?
Do the average on that.
But if you sitting around and you thinking about this 4 hours, or you didn't even give it your best shot, bro. And I appreciate you sharing what you shared, because everybody who's listening, man, like I am not, and neither is Danny. You know what I mean? This has been my guy since high school, 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? Like we got stories, man, that go back. We've seen each other. So when you can be around your day
retirement
ones,
numbers on friendship.
When you can be around your day ones and talk about how you living, they the ones that's gonna call you on your shit. I can't be around you and Keith and talk about, oh man, this I wake up in the morning. We y'all know, and we all on the same thing. So this is coming from a real place, y'all. I just want to say for the guys who are out there, especially the guys who are out there, because that's who we talk to a lot. Mm-hmm. And you might be in a relationship, right? Uh-huh. You might be in a relationship, whether it be just a boyfriend, girlfriend situation, husband, marriage, whatever it might be. You in a relationship, and you might feel sometime that your partner, your lady doesn't believe in what you're sharing. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you, man, and it's not all the time, but it could be because you've been sharing shit you ain't gonna do. You always sharing, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and she ain't seen you bust a move on it yet.
Listen, man, I want to say that is extremely important to stay on just for a little bit. And we talking to the men, you know, when we have these sayings of be about what you say, walking like you talking, all these different things. It's extremely important to do it for yourself first and foremost. If you are just because you can really have a vision, and without the plan, the visualization, like if you're not believing that, or if you're not putting tangible actions towards that, how is somebody else supposed to look at that and be like, yeah? And especially if you've done that in a repeated fashion that has led to nothing but you just saying something, right? And you first, let's have a self-awareness and a self-accountability to realize, like, hey, man, I ain't really put no action towards none of this.
Stop sharing shit.
Please.
You ain't gonna do. Because it kills the credibility with yourself, like you said, Denny. But also kills the credibility, period.
Wow.
Have you heard what it means? So think of it like this. And this is I appreciate y'all listening to me. D Green on purpose. And I'm trying to let you know all of us can use more confidence. They say confidence is key. Confidence comes from credibility with yourself. Being able to keep the word to yourself. When your word is bond, yo, I don't break my words in my balls with nobody. You know what I'm saying? When your word means something to you, you can count on your word. Of course, other people are going to be able to count on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that credibility that you're able to build yourself by getting up early, not just because, getting up early, the vibration is higher and the energy is at the highest peak, and your consciousness onto this day has just begun, right? And you fasted for the hours that you've been asleep, right? Not just because of these things, not just because more than likely nobody's checking for you, no emails, no phone calls, not just because of the limited distractions, but because you chose to get up early and you actually stuck to your choice. That builds confidence with any of us. So that's why I really appreciate our weekly 5:15 a.m. call, because it's not just me and you on there. It's not just me and you and Keith on there. We got at least 20 members every week, Black men who are up virtually, cameras on, engaging in full-on dialogue, laughter, all of that stuff at 5 a.m. for the last 2.5 years. So when we talk about the community that we have, you feel me? The community that we have men who display that type of discipline and that commitment to self-improvement around us all day. So it just kind of rubs off on us even more.
It absolutely does. And the way that I'm trying to see how I want to analyze or analogize, if that's a word. I'm gonna use that. Paint a picture or an analogy. We have traumas that are unforeseen, right? So let's say you had an experience as a child, you process that the way nobody else can process your brain. You may hold on to that, right? You don't know sometimes how that may show up. It works the same when you are doing positive things. If you surround yourself around people that are doing the things you want to do or trying to get to in that space, if you do the action, and even subconsciously, if you're not a hater, if you're a person that just observe and know how to absorb game and apply game,
word up,
it's naturally you're going to just want to be a part of the team. When Keith started to, I always mention this, we ran a marathon together, bro. That's really that's dope to me, because he said he hated running. I hate it. I still don't be running like I need to. But I was inspired. Like, bro, you got to 3 miles. first to say that was an inspiration. You know, when Devontae, like, hey, bro, I got this idea. What? And to see what that manifested to, inspiring. Oh, I'm gym 30 days, bro. I done lost 80 pounds. I done got stronger. I'm my skin. Like, I look at my friends, man. I'll be like, hey, your skin looking good. What are you doing? I'm just drinking more water. You know, I'm waking up in the morning. I'm being intentional about, okay, that's the blueprint. Let me get up in the morning. It's inspiring. Now I want to get up and have conversations 6 in the morning. Now I want to tap in a little earlier with my friend. Now I want to say, oh, bro, you got to 100 bands? Let me get to 100 bands. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's whatever your goal. So I'm saying, like, the surrounding energy sometimes is so, yes, it's prevalent, it's real, but even that subconscious desire to do certain things will peak at the time you don't even understand how it's peaking. We're going to talk about manifestation, which was another part of the conversation and collaboration that we had on the 515 call. But when I say we spiritually connected and tapped in, there are things that's been happening and have been transpiring in my personal life, and things that have been transpiring in my friends around me that they share that I'm privy to, that some things are unexplainable. But when you go back and see the work and what you surrounded yourself with, you be like, okay, this is the reason why. I may have not seen it like this. That's why people be like, man, you know, like, God always on time. Like, it's real like that, because it may not show or come up how you want it to come up, but you will look up and be like, wow. I'm like, man, I really want a spot here. You know, back in Long Beach, start school in Long Beach, the doors open up in a way that I didn't think that was going to open up. So I'm saying, like, I'm going to continuously surround myself around that energy. It's power and dynamic in that, bro. It's extreme power and ascending energy and what has been built. And you think about manifestation of an idea that you had, that's created a network, that's created a synergy, that's created an energy that's forceful.
Hey, we got 30 seconds before commercial break. You going in? You said something, bro, that I want to talk about when we get back from the break, and that is how trauma shows up in ways that you don't expect or can't explain or don't even know that they're there, but also the positive things that you think, do, and put into your environment, into yourself, show up as well. Man, let's come back after the break and we're gonna talk about it.
Absolutely.
Peace.
We see y'all back in a sec.
Man, let's come back after the break and we're gonna talk about it.
Absolutely.
Peace.
We see y'all back in a sec.
What's up? It's Brandon from the Primos Chilos radio show. Are you tired of filthy, lowbrow, scummy entertainment? Well, I don't have the solution.
Monday and Wednesday to get your morning started off right. 9 a.m.
You're seriously watching porn by yourself? Oh, wait.
Every Monday and Wednesday to get your morning started off right.
Yo, we back live from the den.
And we back. Yeah, man. So right before the break, we were having some church up in here. No, but honestly, man, we live this. We really care about our experience here on planet Earth. And I know that might sound like a little woo-zoo wah-wah to somebody, but we're here for an unknown amount of time. And the what we do today is what's actually creating our legacy, our lives. That is our experience, not this one day, right now. So that the discipline that we have really impacts our experience here. I heard somebody say that discipline is the highest form of self-love.
Man, and this is speaking from a personal perspective. Being in an environment that didn't require me to be as disciplined as I felt like I should have been, right? And I was a boy at the time, adolescent young man, right? And so these are certain components that you can just pick up in life, but I didn't have the understanding of why it was important to be disciplined in certain areas, in certain spaces, and not just be saying shit out loud that I didn't have the discipline to do, the understanding to do, or the
we can still have a desire.
I had the desire.
Yeah.
I didn't have the discipline or the understanding to do it.
And I think that's a different show, because I'm also gonna go into like why don't, or did you not think it was possible? Truly, you know what I'm saying? But I want to go, before we left for break, we told the people we was gonna give them something.
We did.
So and that's why I say we might be able to get to this one, or we here every Wednesday night, man. So make sure y'all stay tapped in.
Give the people what they want. Give it to them.
But you brought up the internalization. So we all know at this point in 2022, especially if listening to our show, you've heard of trauma. So you've heard of trauma, right? And how trauma for us, I'll give an example. I was watching, and I shared this story a number of times. I was watching the This Is Us. And, coming up, we dealt with a lot of housing insecurity and moving around a lot. So I always just kind of thought it was normal. You know what I mean? We move like 3 times a year sometime, slept with other people's houses, whatever. But we had a roof over our head for the most part, but it was just a whole lot of different roofs. And I was watching This Is Us with my wife a couple years ago. And as we were watching it, if you're familiar with the show, Deja and her mom are getting evicted from their apartment. They come home, it's an eviction notice. They got their stuff in like trash bags. And I'm just watching the show. I've watched all these episodes, and now I break down crying, from like a visceral, from like my loins. You know what I'm saying? I'm crying, and I don't know why, but I know why. It was so unexpected, and it hit me, and I couldn't even control my cry, to the point where I was telling my wife, like, I don't even know why I'm crying right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Traumatized. I was triggered to think about those experiences of my own housing insecurity. And I'm like, damn, this has been in there. I'm 30 years old at the time. Like this is a half my life ago. It's still in there. So it shows up in people's relationships, whether somebody, oh yeah, my I went through this as a kid, and that's why I'm like this as an adult. But all this stuff has been downloaded into your programming. These traumatizing things, even the things that you like about yourself, they've all been downloaded into your programming. But now we're adults, and we get to choose the programming that we want to download into ourselves. We choose the program.
And can I jump in, brother?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Listen, every experience is different. We make these phrases without having the understanding that, give yourself grace, right? You're supposed to give yourself grace, but also understand who you are in these processes. It ain't as easy as we may make it seem. You may be looking at somebody else's situation and saying, oh, I'm inspired. Yeah, but how are they doing that? It's steps, it's process. If you are a person that's entertaining yourself in a way where you feel like you spend too much time watching TV or watching other people entertain you, there's a process for you changing that behavior. And if you wanted to be a more avid reader, some people can go cold turkey. That's not the case for everybody. Be real with yourself. Set steps and processes that allow you to be successful, i.e. a 5:15 call in the morning. if you're just doing that one time a week, it's gonna manifest and turn over and transition to something that because it's gonna make you feel good. And you're gonna want to continue to feel good.
It
Opposed
sound like
to
Mike. Make it feel good.
No, it's gonna make you feel good.
Yeah, keep going.
You know what I'm
brother.
saying? Real
Pay
talk.
me no, never mind, brother.
That's a part of who we are, brother. That's a part of who we are. It's gonna make you feel good. It's gonna make you feel like that. And we don't like to feel good. I think we do. It's not only making you feel good; it's a benefit to your life. I drank soda, man. Like, I don't know what to call it. I felt like I was addicted to soda. Got the sugar. I need me a Dr. Pepper. My granddad used to work for Coke. He used to bring a Dr. Pepper home. I don't know how I'm internalizing that. I know it was good, 7 spices, all that, but it was breaking me down. So that transition, I'm like, let me go cold turkey. I was unsuccessful. I did it for about a week, right? Let me transition out of that. I don't need soda no more. It's not a benefit to me. I want my skin shining. Because that was one of the benefits to I'm drinking less sugar. I have less high uric acid. I have less sodium that I'm taking in. I have less of these things that are not good for me, but I had to understand the process into which when I was transitioning, and that's the grace that we talk about. It ain't it's not an excuse. It's an actual set plan that you go out and want to incorporate, but it's a step-by-step process. Don't look at the next person and be like, look where they at. What they going through on a daily basis, bro. Through the heart of hearts as friends, bro. This conversation right now, where some people took time off of life, we kept going every day on a consistent basis. No matter if you having conversations with your wife that isn't in line, I'm having conversations with my lady that isn't in line. I'm having issues with being a dad, trying to figure out different modalities and perspectives. We still kept going and being consistent. Those are the good habits. Those are the behaviors that grow us and that send us into these places. We just incorporating things that are going to be better for us. I want to be statistically in the space that's going to limit destruction and increase my value, and also increase the opportunity for me to continue to make a staple before I leave this earth in Paris, bro.
And we can do that, right? We've been experiencing it through downloading new programming.
Woo.
Getting your ass up in the morning. If you say I'm not a morning person, guess what you're not going to be? A morning person. If you say I'm not a person who eats healthy, guess what you're not going to do?
A person that
you're not going to eat healthy. I'm not a gym person. You're not going to hit the gym. I'm not a calm person. I'm not going to be calm. We get if you're holding on to your old identity, the one that hasn't been serving you in the ways that you needed to, you're bullshitting. And what I mean is, you could decide who you want to be by starting to become that person. If I do the actions of this person, if I do the actions of that person that I have of my that version of myself that I have in my head, if I do the actions that are aligned to what that person would do, I do that long enough for it to become habit. I want to break down a little teachability.
Please do.
Well, it wasn't a teachability index. I forgot what it was called, but if you've ever heard Kevin Trudeau's "Your Wish Is Your Command," which is it came out on tapes a while back, and now you can find it on YouTube. And it might be a little outdated for certain listeners, but it was life changing when I heard it. So like, let's use driving. You know, when you first start to drive, when you first as a kid you get into a car, you don't even know that you don't know how to drive. Let's say you're a baby, you don't know that you don't know how to drive. You're unconsciously incompetent. I don't know that I don't know. I don't know that I don't know. And then you get a little older, you say like, damn, I now know that I don't know how to drive. Well, I see my parents driving, but I can't drive. My big sibling driving, I can't drive. You are consciously incompetent. You know, but you still can't do it. So you go from unconsciously incompetent, I don't know that I don't know, or I don't know that I can't do it, to I know that I can't do it. But a growth mindset, that's a fixed mindset, knowing that you can't do it, but wanting to do it and still not putting no effort to it. That's a fixed mindset. A growth mindset gets you to these different levels. You then become, let's say you start taking some driving lessons. Let's say your parents start working with you on a drive, or your big sibling teaching you how to drive, or you go to driving school,
Mhm.
you start to say like, oh, I know that I didn't know, but now I'm driving. But every time I get in the car, I got to make sure I'm 10 and 2. I got to check my rear view mirror. I look over my right shoulder, make sure the seatbelts are on, leave my blinker on for 5 seconds before I change the lane. And you're thinking about these things as you were driving. You're having to consciously be competent. Yes, you can do it, but you got to think about doing it. Right. And then you do that long enough. And like right now, you hop in the car, you can be like, oh man, I forgot something upstairs. You can hit a U-turn so quick, man. Not even think about it. You did everything. You still got your hand on the steering wheel. The mirrors are perfect.
Yeah.
Your seatbelt is on, but you didn't think about none of it. But you are now you're unconsciously competent. Now you're unconsciously, I'm doing stuff that I don't even know. I just downloaded into my routine. Now I don't even got to think about it when I do it. That happens when you wake up early in the morning, when you start to download yourself with the information, you surround yourself with the people and the environments that are going to help you to become, this is going to get into your subconscious. You don't got to think about tying your shoe, but at one point you did. Let me do the bunny ears, let me tie it around. You had to think about it every time you tied it. Go back to that time in your history right now. Think about it. It was a time where you was like, okay, I got my bunny ears, or whichever one you did. And now you can tie your shoe so quick. If you can play sports, you can tie your shoe without even, man, what? And still play in the same play. So that same thing is what we're talking about. It's not just our opinion. This is how we are as people. If you read it, if you learn enough of the right stuff, if you eat enough of the right stuff, if you talk, if you say enough of the right stuff, if you get around the right people long enough, subconsciously, you're going to become unconsciously competent in those areas. And that's why it's important to have a routine over and over and over and over other things that's going to feed you that way.
Bro, it becomes regimen. It becomes a part of your lifestyle. That's a great analogy.
Thank you,
that was a really great analogy, because and that's what when I was talking about, and I think you just put it on another plateau and another platform to where you want to get to the point, whatever is personal for you, where you're doing these things and they're seamless. They're seamless. It's repetition. It was a time where I would go to the gym one time and like, man, woo, I put in work, man. That was tough. That was rough. It's a part of my life now. I don't feel complete if I don't get that component. So when you talk about like, I'm not a gym person, I'm not a morning person. At a time when I didn't fully implement these modalities and these practices, I wasn't a gym person. I wasn't a morning person. These are not superheroes you viewing and looking at. These are just people that are applying.
Word up.
These are people that are applying the consistency, the things that they feel are going to guide them to the right direction, and the things that make them feel good to who they are and for who they're trying to be. I was listening to I like listening to Fat Joe. He still tells stories like amazing to me. But he was talking about,
I was just listening to him.
He had a beef with 50 Cent, but he was saying 50 Cent should be studied. He said 50 Cent remind him of dude like will carry a dog down the street and have like a bark at you. But he was just like, how does Curtis as a kid messing with people, bullying people, know how to box, get to writing some of the best TV shows that some people are watching right now, and be coming in and getting in these rooms? He had to change some things. I'm sorry, I'm not even changed. He had to redirect some things. He had the hunger, we have the hunger, the passion, that we have that. We got to redirect and triple down on it.
Hey, there's still people though who are listening right now. There are people right now, and I hope it's not many, but there's bound to be a few people listening right now saying like, nah, but that just ain't me. Nah, see, that just ain't me. You've already told yourself who you gonna be. The same person. Even when people say like, oh, you changed, nobody tells you this, right? But let's just say that, the whole rhetoric around, or like not changing and staying the same. What are we talking about here? We talking about being in the same mind state that I was in when I was 17 years old, when I was 21 years old, the same mindset. I'm a grown ass man. I need to be in the same mind state, making the same decisions and the same choices. As a kid, you know what I mean? Let's say we're gonna use Curtis, 50 Cent Jackson. You know what I'm saying? He didn't choose to be born in Jamaica, Queens, to a mother who lived like that, or to have this type of opportunity. He didn't choose that.
No, he didn't.
Right? But none of us as kids, and yeah, we make mistakes, and there's stuff that we can do better. And there's people who make some pretty heinous, you know what I mean, mistakes in their life too.
Right.
But I'm saying, as a kid, we didn't choose our situation. We didn't choose to live where we live. We didn't choose our parents or our families. But as an adult, we must, you know what I'm saying? We must be true. I think I'm a little loud on mine. There we go. Yeah. We must be able to choose who we're going to be moving forward. 50 said, no, this is the route I'm going now.
Yeah.
Now, if you are too afraid to grow because you think you might outgrow, if you're too afraid to grow because you think you might outgrow your circle or where you're most comfortable, that's on you. But call a spade a spade.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Because woo, hold on.
Thank you. Hey, give it up.
Because that's real. Because now you just don't want to be uncomfortable. I hope it ain't too many people listening with a mentality or that is lacking a vision for themselves or just don't have a desire to have.
You're going to get better listening to this, because this stuff we live, man. And I don't mean to cut your wisdom. Please let me give it back. I just want you to know
ahead,
we're sharing these things not to offend anybody, not to make anybody feel bad about themselves, but to inspire you to live out the higher version of yourself. So we hope it's not too many listening, but if you are listening, or maybe you already got a routine going, hey, these are learnings that we've added to our toolbox, because they've been helpful for us. And since we implemented things like this, man, I'm telling you, the growth has been accelerated. Like crazy.
Immounceable growth.
That's a counselor word.
The confidence has been, and the confidence has grown at an impeccable rate. We talk about us being kids, that you play football.
Word up.
You was confident on the football field. You knew nobody was going. One person ain't about to tackle you.
No matter who we played. I didn't even know these people.
Because you understood ain't one person ain't about to tackle you. Now you had an innate confidence that you were, because for one, you had natural ability and skill, but you compounded on that through practice, through approach, through mentality. We still the same person. The field has changed. The field is different now. You got to be comfortable with making the adjustment to be successful in the field and arena that you in now. And I'm speaking as a person. D Green on purpose was just saying that we just real people that went through experiences that we just want to share, that hopefully it'll help you grow in a capacity in your life. 10 years younger, I look worse than I do now. I felt worse than I do now.
Talk on
I didn't have the confidence I do now. I knew I needed to change a little bit about and redirect some approaches that I had. I knew I needed to stop talking as much about some stuff that I ain't even proved to myself that I was willing to do. That's that shit. I ain't bullshitting myself. I had to get real with myself. So many people, I'm looking at the man in the mirror, like it's me versus me. That's real. That's looking into your soul and your spirit and yourself and saying, like, let me dig and grab out the God in me.
Yo. When you say it's me versus me, first off, man, you in your bag, brother. Give yourself. You got the button, man. Give yourself a little claps, man. Yo, hey, man. We decided. Look, I just want to be transparent, man. We decided. We've got a few shows. I was out a few shows. Danny held it down. We gonna give y'all, the real us, and I think that's what's coming out right now, man. So I'm really grateful for this. You know what I mean? And you said me versus me. I want to talk on that. You know what I mean? Shout out Moneybag Yo got a song. Feel like it's me versus me. Don't see no competition while we like compete. You know what I mean? But the same, going deeper to me versus me. This is how I look at it. There's a God in me who knows what to do, who's bold, who's strong, who's confident, who's fearless. Who's strategic, right? But who also just has a knowing. And then there's the conditioned version of me that over the last 33 years has learned some things.
Can I pause your wisdom? at the most basic rate, when you were a kid and you watched different shows or you watched this, it was a person on the side or one side, a little person saying, hey, man, don't do that, man. You know that's not the right thing to do.
That's true.
And it was the other person saying, well, you know, if you do this.
No, it was the angel and the devil.
That's real.
Yeah.
However you perceive it, look at it. Please.
No, yeah. And you know, I would use the analogy of an angel and the devil for this, because the devil is telling me to do the thing that's against my higher self. Ooh. And the angel is telling me to do the thing that is aligned with my higher self. But every day there's decisions where it's like, man, I want to eat some big ass ribs, some macaroni and cheese, some cornbread, some you know what I mean, some greens with some ham hocks in it. I want some dessert to go with it, and that's just lunch. Every day we want to do that with a big sweet tea. Every day, who don't want that? But you know, to give into that, that's the wrong shoulder. That's the high, that's the lower version, because I know that has no positive impact on the version of me that I have in my head of myself. So it's a tough decision to say no, but it's a aligned decision to say no. We talk about finances, bro. Let's use something that's real to all of us.
Absolutely.
We talking about money. There's times where you want to get something, but your bank account say you shouldn't get it.
That's one of them.
You know what I'm saying? Your bank account say you shouldn't get it, but it's like, it's me versus me. Am I giving into the instant gratification, or am I able to see how this decision ties into the long-term impact of where I'm trying to go? Because if you don't have a vision of yourself in the future, you're going to do whatever in this moment. You're just going to like mess up all your time. You're going to do decisions that are like, that are not good for you. Well, what are perceivably not good decisions for you. But if you don't have a vision of yourself years from now, or older version of yourself, you're not gonna care.
Because that's what we've been talking about, bro. The vision. And then you said, if you don't have a plan with the vision, you absolutely need something to go back to, either remind you or for you to go back and say, I need to do X, Y, Z in order to reach said goal. If you're not reminding yourself, if you're not looking at the components and the practices that are going to propel you to the place that you need to be in, it'll be hard to understand why you're doing it. You always say, like, what's your why? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're like, really, what is it? What is it for, really?
What's your why?
What's
your why to get up early?
He said the macaroni and cheese, the collard greens. My why to get up early is to be productive and to get the fulfillment I need for myself to get my win in the morning.
Why? Because
I want to ascend to my plan that I've written. I wrote out a 3-year plan. I was proud, bro. If I do this, it should lead to this and even more opportunities, because I want to place myself in a position to be able to provide in the way I want and be comfortable in the way and live and protect my freedom, to ascend my family, and to be a role model and show like this. I ain't no superhero. I just did these things. And I was able to stick to it, and it led to this and more.
I got a question for you.
Please.
Why? Why you want to do those things?
It's sometimes it's spiritually on me, bro. Like, I can easily say I quit and I give up. I have a desire to do those things because it makes me feel good, and that's what I want to attain to get to.
So if somebody, and the reason why I ask why so many times, it used to be a cartoon on, like, what's that? Why with Marvin the Martian, and little kid. Sure. And I realized that, well, you can ask why anything, right? But let me at least give you more so what I was thinking about with your why.
Okay.
You know, did you have that?
No.
And what did you have to experience to figure it out? What did your family have to experience to not have the generation before? You know what I mean? Live with that type of intentionality or opportunity. And how does that now color your experience as a father? You know what I'm saying? As a partner. It's like, look, not only why, because it's on you. You know what I mean? I believe God put that on you. You know what I'm saying? And some things are just unexplainable. Yeah. But when we really break it down, bro, you trying to create something. You think if you was born into a certain situation, you would have that same. It's, you know what I mean? Like, this shit is on you. We talk about the trauma that's there and the positive, the motivation is there. And some people gotta see, they gotta like actually reflect long enough to find the motivation. Because if I don't do it, it ain't gonna be right around here. If I don't do it, yes, I'm gonna feel like I didn't meet my personal goals, but nothing changes. I actually perpetuate some of the things that I don't appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I talk about my housing insecurity a lot. I would never want to have my family experience housing insecurity. So I get to it.
Because you have a connection of knowing how that felt. We hear people like, man, I remember when most athletes, we use athletes real quick. Athletes like, man, I worked so hard. I was grinding. I was in the dark. I was doing this. And like real personable stuff is like, I didn't want to sleep on the floor no more.
Word.
In a 5-bedroom house. And so taking those trap traumas, right? Reflecting, like you said, reflecting on those things that can be perceived as like things that'll hold you back. Being willing enough to put in the work and being confident enough to ascend and get past all the discernment, all of the things that didn't make you feel good.
I didn't like that.
I didn't like that.
I don't like Tina burritos and cup of noodles.
No.
I don't like sleeping at people's house waiting for them to come home so I can come in. I don't like that.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't like being in roles and responsibilities where I felt like I should have been a kid, but I gotta accelerate myself or grow up fast. No, go enjoy life.
Nah. So the why for us, and I know we about to close out here. Maybe we appreciate y'all tapping in, but the why is so important. So we talk about getting up at 5:15 or whatever time it is, and keeping your word and building discipline and surrounding yourself with the things and consuming the things that's gonna help you to get to this version of yourself that you believe you could really get to, whether it be physically, financially, emotionally, wherever it might be for you, socially. You got to find the why, and that's gonna make everything else make sense.
Oof.
We appreciate y'all rocking out, man. This is D Green on Purpose.
Danny Crumble, the counselor.
And we live from the den. Make sure y'all check us out every Wednesday. We appreciate y'all. Subscribe, share with a friend, and we out this piece.
Push it forward. You did.